Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Abby, aka the Hype Warrior, bringing another video today. I'm pretty freaking excited, you know what I'm saying? I'm down here in South Florida. Went to my local comic book shop called Tate's Comics. You know, if you're ever down here in South Florida, man, University and freaking Lauderhill, it's an amazing freaking store, man. It's just, no words, man. You know, best comic store I've ever been to. You know, they freaking really help you out there. Great customer service. Their figures are amazing, very diverse, and then on top of that, you know, they're one of the few comic stores in the world that has like events, like actual comic cons, and basically like big promos, and they do parking swaps, which is like the best thing. I can't wait for that next February. You already know where them tax returns are going. Anyway, I come to you guys to bring up this Final Form Frieza. This is like a Gundam style kit. It's freaking amazing, man, when you get this thing built up. It's made by a company called Figure Rise. It's official. You know, it has a toy sticker, Funimation. You know, Dragon Ball Z. I'm a big, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball. Regular Dragon Ball Z and even Dragon Ball S, which is getting pretty hot right now with freaking. I love Trump, even though Vegeta's my favorite character. And Piccolo's my second favorite character, man. Trunks is badass too, man. Future Trunks right now, the show has right now. I mean, it's not the best writing, but it does have some good character development. The fight scenes are fucking epic. Anyway, here's the box. Basically, like, it shows Frieza right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Like, this is what it looks like built. And then the articulation looks amazing on this thing. And then, like, you know, it comes with the stickers that you put on. Like I said, it's like a Gundam style model kit. And it comes with his death ball, and I don't know what pose I'm gonna have him in, but it's gonna be pretty badass. And when I'm done building this, I'm gonna basically show you guys the end results, and then show you what it looks like scaled to other figures, because you know I got my SH art figures up here, so you already know that's coming. Anyways, stay tuned. But yeah, like I said, man, the box art looks freaking sick, dude. I'm really pumped up. You know, they just announced the Team Gohan Super Saiyan 2, and they also announced that just came. I don't know about anywhere else, but it just came down here in Florida, which is Perfect Cell. He's the most expensive. I think he's like $31. Like I said, these kits are not that expensive. They scale in pretty good with SH figure arts. I'm gonna show you guys when I'm done, and they look pretty badass. And like I said, I'm really excited because you know, all these different companies taking Dragon Ball Z to the next level. I mean, we've had Irwin, Jack Irwins in the past, you know, like these type of figures in the past, which is pretty, you know, pretty dope. They don't have the best articulations. Their paint apps are decent. Some of them are downright ugly, though, but there's others like Bobbity here, Majin, Fat Boob that look really great, Videl, Android 19, the Cell Juniors, I'm pretty happy for. And then since SH Figure Arts or no other brand makes them, you can fit these pretty well, and they have some articulation to go with your SH Figure Arts figures. Quick side note, I picked this up at my local comic book shop. It's a, you know, Kid Gohan before he started training with Piccolo, and, like, you know, in the Raditz Saga, whatever, and, Saiyan Saga, it came with this little, like, math book, whatever. It looks pretty sick. I was pumped up. I got it for, I think, like, $6 in my local comic book shop, Tate's, whatever, and it looks freaking badass. Has a little 4-star signature Dragon Ball on top of his head, and just like pretty excited for that. But anyway, going back to the kit, man, these are all the parts that it comes with. You know what I'm saying, that you gotta basically build. And it looks pretty sick. Like I said, it's like pretty much like a Gundam kit. And then, you know, everything's in Japanese, so I'm just gonna go by the pictures, like a typical Gundam kit. And it's like the Frieza death ball, you know what I'm saying? So pretty excited. And you know, I'm definitely gonna do a little bit of painting to this to get like the purple shades, because you know, it doesn't come with the paint, like it's just like the body's just plain. So I mean, you could leave it like that or add some shading to it. So I'm gonna do some shading to it, or at least try to. Anyways, hey, what's up, guys? I'm back here. Basically, I just want to show you guys that, you know, some of the progress that I'm doing. Keep in mind that, you know, this is like, I even though I do own Gundams, I never really painted or shaded any of them, really. I don't have all the equipment, and I just want to show you guys that you can do this stuff. Well, what I'm doing with the Dragon Ball Z figure, you can actually, I'm using the Frieza, and you can actually do this stuff without actually having the official Gundam markers and paints and you know, sprayers and everything like that. This is like a part of the thigh, basically. I don't know if it's showing up on camera. I'm using like a SJ cam, GoPro type camera, action cam, and it's really subtle, but it's in there. I took a Crayola stencil and basically just shaded on the inside, then took a Q-tip, um, like so, and then like I basically cleaned it up. And I am kind of using a spray aerosol gun. I know y'all probably laughing. It's like ghetto as hell, but like basically, it's a Crayola art. Um, it's like pump action air spray, and basically this is the kit, whatever. Since I don't have an official airbrush, like I said, I'm new to the whole Gundam series type, you know, Dragon Ball Z type thing, so that's what I'm pretty much using, but it does work. Of course, using this is not going to be as good as the official, you know, airbrushers, and obviously this thing doesn't have any settings. You just got to be, you know, I'm saying, patient and easy with the grip. But it does work, man. You know, like I said, I'll post more when I'm done with the project. But like I said, I'm taking this like Crayola stencil here, just a purple violet Crayola stencil, and I'm basically going in on the edges of these, and then you know, and then like I don't know if it's coming out on the camera, but it's like real subtle. Let's see if I get it to focus. Sorry about that, but I mean, when it all comes together, it's gonna look pretty solid. And I've already done the tail. I don't know if you guys can see that, but if you look closely, you can see the lines on the tail. I basically did that with a Crayola stencil, and then I airbrushed it with the Crayola freaking pump action airbrush kit. You can get those anywhere, pretty much any Walmart or whatever. Target should sell it. And like I said, I didn't have the equipment, but I was excited, and I just wanted to do this. I mean, besides, it's not permanent. If anything, I can always, like, you know, get this stuff off. But like I said, I'm pretty happy with the results. You know, it looks pretty solid, you know. And I went ahead and did the death beam, whatever, the stand. So it looks pretty solid right there. Really loving the translucent color. It looks really solid. And here's a little death ball. You know, pretty easy to put together. There's some detail on it, like lightning little detail on it. Like I said, I'm pretty impressed with the kit so far. My only gripe about the kit, which I'll explain a little bit later, but it's not a huge gripe, but I mean, for the price you pay for this kit, should have came with it. You know, I mean, I bought this for $25. Depending on where you get it, it's a little bit more expensive online, but it still should have came. Like, I'll explain it later, but yeah, this is the death ball. You guys can see little details and whatnot. Looks pretty solid, man. Anyways, me back to the. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, guys? Back here again, just showing the progress. I just finished putting the chest plate together. Man, just you know, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. This is my first time. I mean, I've messed with Gundams before and everything like that, but this is my first time actually building like a kit, which you know, this kit, these Dragon Ball Z kits are pretty much like similar to Gundams, especially, you know, Bandai's when that makes them. But anywho, putting this Frieza torso together, I put the lower body together, and I'm gonna tell you, man, the quality, the quality is just amazing, man. The joints are stiff, they move really nicely, and just, you know, there's a lot of little parts, but you know, like any Gundam kit, whatnot. But to be honest with you, man, they all connect and fit perfectly, and it just looks amazing, man. I'm really pumped up so far. But yeah, just, you know, showing you the progression. But yeah, man, these kits are amazing. This kit is amazing. You know, everything fits in nicely, and the instructions are very easy to like perceive. I mean, I'm pumped up. You know, and like I said, this is my first time actually putting together a Gundam style kit. So, you know, if I could do it, any of y'all can do it, man. I'm having lots of fun. The next thing I want to show you guys is this port right here. This port's on the back of Frieza's tail to basically like help balance him in the air. Because the figure is a Bandai figure, the company, whatnot, this will work with any Bandai stand, and I'm using a Bandai SH Figure Art stand, so it plugs in perfectly into it. That sucks that my only gripe about this figure, these standardized figures, at least the Frieza one, I haven't gotten the rest of them yet, is basically they don't have a stand that comes with it, which, you know, for the price you pay, I mean it's not really that much money. I paid about $25 here in Florida for my figure, my Frieza standardized figure, but still, I mean, it would have been nice to get a stand, but at least, you know, they gave you the Laporte piece so you can plug into any Bandai stand, and it works perfectly fine. Alright, the next thing I want to show you guys is the hands that it comes with. It comes with two pairs, I guess, and a half of hands. It comes with the Death Beam hand right here, and none of these hands came painted. I basically had to paint them myself using a Gundam marker, which is pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? You know, it just makes loving the figure even more. Like I said, I apologize for the quality. As soon as my charger comes in from mail, I'll be using a better camera. Here's the other set of hands. These are your key blasting hands. They, like I said, once again, they're pretty well sculpted. It's the back side. They don't have any shading on it, so I kind of shaded it myself. And then the nails, once again, I painted. Because as far as I know, Frieza has like dark purplish, you know, black nails. And then here's the other hands, you know, same hand, basically opposite side. Alright guys, I'm going to go over articulation. Alright, articulation on this figure is actually really impressive. I just want to go ahead and say that the thing I love about this figure the most, besides its musculature, the sculpting is incredible. For a Gundam type build a figure, and I have plenty of those, believe me, they kind of fall apart, this and that. You know, they have weak areas, you know, just like any build a figure. But, you know, on these standardized Dragon Ball Z versions, man, they're pretty sturdy. I mean, they're impressive. I mean, the joints are nice and stiff, as you can see. You know, no issues at all. I mean, to be honest with you, if you guys can't afford, anybody who can't afford the SH Figure Arts Frieza, which is, like, expensive as hell, or don't feel like getting the Tong Frieza, I would highly recommend getting this Frieza. It fits in the scale pretty well. If you stay tuned to the end of this video, you'll see that. I'll post some pictures. But it fits in the scale really well with the SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball Z figures. And at the same time, this figure, it doesn't feel cheap at all. It's very lightweight, but it doesn't feel cheap. And because of its lightweight ability, and a figure having a tail makes it very difficult to balance. But with this figure, it's perfectly well done. I pose it. Once again, check out this video at the end. You'll be satisfied. And just even posing, I have no issues. I have really fun posing this figure. Once again, the detail in this figure is really impressive. It has all these like definition cuts, the musculature. Like the bicep here alone was like a 3-piece set, and I had to put it together. But it was really fun, very easy. Once again, I've never, even though I've owned Gundams, I've never really actually put a Gundam together. This is my first time, so it was really easy. It didn't take me that long, and anybody can do it. I love it, man. The detail in this figure is impressive. His face, basically, the detail's impressive. He comes with 2 heads, and I'll show you guys the second head in a minute. But anyways, the detail on his face is amazing. His mouth was actually a sticker, but, you know, just like, you know, putting a Gundam together, you just use tweezers and, you know, put the sticker on, and it actually works pretty well. The lines on his face is, you know, like in the manga, anime, whatnot. I did that with the, you could do that with the fine point Sharpie. I used a Gundam marker, alright, and then there's stickers for his ears, which all fit in pretty nicely, actually. His eyes, I didn't see any stickers for it. I was like, oh, dude, like, how do the eyes go in? It's a 2-piece set for the eyes, and they look really menacing, and they go in really well, man. I just, I only regret that I have a crappy camera. Well, this is actually a decent camera, but it's an action cam. You know, my good camera, once again, doesn't have its charger, so I'm waiting for that to come in the mail. But, you know, a solid figure, man. There's so much detail going on here, just in the head alone, man. It's just really impressive, easy to put together. My other gripe about this figure, you know, I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, guys. You know it. I can't stand the fact that this figure cannot look up. You know, when you have a flying type figure, Marvel does this sometimes, DC does this sometimes, and definitely, you know, Dragon Ball Z is doing this now. But when you have a flying type figure, man, you have to have the ability to look up. And it's just like, but, you know, the good thing is, even though he can't look up, he can at least look down. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, even though he can't really look up too well, I mean, it's not even really looking up at all, to be honest with you. But, you know, Frieza, even though he's a shorter guy, it would be nice to have some scenes with him looking up at the taller characters like Goku. It's still okay because he's a type of character that likes to be over everybody's head in flight and looking down at you with the death ball scene. So it still works out. And like I said, for $25, $23, this is much cheaper than buying the $350+ whatnot, you know, SH Figure Arts Frieza. But anyhow, let me look at the rest. Look through the viewfinder, see the rest of the figure. Once again, all this musculature and this well, you know, sculpted figure from back to front, man. This really captures the likeness of Frieza. You could even use this as a final form Frieza because of his size. You know what I'm saying? A final form full part Frieza, excuse me. And even his purple plates look good. They even sculpted the bottom of his feet. You know what I'm saying? Those patas, it looks really good. Like I said, the joints in this figure feel really nice, and it's just I had fun really posing this figure around. This figure does not come painted. Obviously, it's a Gundam type setup, so I just took like a Crayola marker that's non-permanent and kind of like put it on a. I wiped it on a ear cleaner, whatever, and just shaded it in. And I let it dry, whatnot. And then for the toes, I used a Gundam marker. It does come with stickers for the toenails, but I don't believe in putting stickers on toenails. I don't think that's gonna like stick well, especially being so curvy. So instead, I painted them, and it's actually much better and it's more solid. You know. Anyhow, I shaded throughout the figure. I apologize that this camera cannot pick it up, but I don't know. It looks like it might can right there. I'm not sure, but I did shade the figure and certain areas to make it pop out and look much better than a plain white. And I highly recommend you the same too. And don't be afraid to, man, because you can always go back and clean it up depending on the material you're using. But yeah, anyway, let's go through the articulation. The head moves about this far up, not really at all. It moves this far down. The neck does have a joint in there, so it helps move it down. It's on like a ball joint, you know. And the shoulders move out, alright? Move all the way out, move forward, okay? Double jointed elbows, as you can see, that move that far, which is really impressive, nice and stiff, okay? The wrists swivel left and right, you know, full 360 degrees around, and it also hinges up and down, okay? Not by much, but it does hinge up and down, okay? And then for the midsection, it has like this diaphragm. It has these double joints, one here in the waist and one up in the diaphragm here. It bends about this far forward. The only problem is when you bend it too far forward, it pops out. Forgot to mention, this figure does have bicep swivel, but you can easily put it back in. It's not a big deal, but it bends about this far forward, which is not the greatest, but it's pretty. It's decent. I like it. And then it moves about that far up. Has a little bit of pivot. Okay. The hip articulation is amazing. Oh my God! Like, you can really capture some of Frieza's amazing technique moves, whatever. It moves all the way out to the side. Okay. It moves all the way forward. All right. Has an upper thigh swivel. Okay. It moves all the way. It moves about that far back. All right. Double jointed knees. All right. That move about this far. Okay. Which is really impressive. All right. And then when it comes to the feet, they hinge down, all the way up, and it also has ankle pivot. Gotta have that ankle pivot, man, which really helps out this figure a lot. Which is, like I said, you know, it makes up for the head not being able to look up all the way. You know what I'm saying? Also, this figure has like a specific eye placement, so if you guys can see that, it makes it look like the figure's actually looking all the way up, which actually helps out. And then, of course, the tail. You know, Frieza's a character that has a tail, so the tail is actually pretty impressive. The tail has 4 points of articulation if you count the rear here. There's some gappage here in the rear, which is okay. It's made so it can slot through that little slot that you post on your Bandai stand, like I was telling you guys about. And you can actually push it in so it closes that gap. So it actually works out. It has a break point here. Alright. Actually, yeah. Has a break point here. You guys can see that. Oh, there goes the upper body again. Not a big deal. I was kind of forcing it. But it has a break point here. That's one articulation piece here. Has also a break point here and a break point here. And the last one is right here. So it has... Actually has three parts of articulation, guys. I apologize, but like I said, it's pretty good. I mean, you can get his tail, you know, out of the way for poses and everything like that, and you could even use it to basically help him stand up. So it's actually 3 parts of articulation, which is still pretty damn good. I feel like his tail, actually no, I thought his tail was a little bit on the long side, but now looking at the rest of the figure, I think it's pretty decent. But yeah, there it goes, guys. There's gonna be some size comparisons at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. And like I said, man, you know, this is an amazing figure. I'm very satisfied. I have a lot of fun posing this figure and whatnot, and just like I'm really pumped up, man. It's just, you know, looking at this figure and you know, comparing it to the SH Figure Arts figure, honestly, this Frieza is much better in my opinion. I mean, its accessories is pretty badass. Oh, the second head sculpt, almost forgot. Here's the second head sculpt. Basically has this little smirk. It's used when you're firing his death beam, which is pretty dope. Well sculpted, you know what I'm saying? Just, it's really awesome, man. This is really, really awesome. Pretty solid piece, man. You know, really digging it. Like I said, man, you know, even looking at the SH Figure Arts Frieza, which is pretty badass. I'm not going to take anything away from it, but I feel like this SH Figure Arts Frieza, and it's just a little bit on the small size in comparison, in my opinion. You know, but very satisfied with this figure. You know, I would highly recommend it. You know, like I said, I paid $23, $25 for it. It comes with badass accessories. The articulation, the high points of the figures, this figure is the articulation is really impressive. It's easy to build. You could paint it to your liking. The joints are nice and stiff. And if you can't afford the expensive Frieza, you can always get this one. I know there's a Datang Frieza out there. But once again, this is a good alternative to even that, and even if you can put this in your collection, it's definitely a must-have in my opinion for any Dragon Ball Z fan. Or you can paint this gold, you know what I'm saying, to represent the golden Frieza. Either way, or you can use this as a fully powered Frieza. Either way, it's a great figure, highly recommended. You know, Standard Rise is doing a great thing. These figures need to be out there more. I hope they come out with more figures, giving us more options with different characters like Bojax, you know what I'm saying, Launch, you know, all those characters, man. Even like a sexy type Bulma was a badass, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, man, plenty of potential these figures, man. The Gohan and Cell one just dropped. I'm definitely gonna get my hands on that. The regular form black-haired Goku's out, and the Super Saiyan 1 Goku's out. I highly recommend these figures. And with the Super Saiyan 1 Goku, the special thing about it, it has a bicep that basically, like, it actually flexes, which is amazing tech. Anyways, going back to this figure, highly recommend it. You know what I'm saying? You know, subscribe, hit like, holla at your boy. More videos coming. Stay hyped up. Yeah. Figure-Rise Frieza stands just under 5 inches tall. Build the figure Frieza, Standard Rise.